I'm live. I always forget to clean my camera beforehand. I don't know why I do that. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. We are going to be talking about the big scandal in beauty this week. All about a girl wearing blackface inside of the Sephora. Wow, crazy. I am going to be showing you some videos and also doing a few things um, in between. As you can see, I have my hair up because I am going to be doing a first impressions with you guys that I'm really excited about. And before we get started, you know me, I got to have a wine. I just picked up this bottle at the store close to me, and it is called Flirty Flamingo. It's a Sauvignon Blanc. You know, I love a Sauvignon Blanc. I had never heard of this brand before, but the store is running out of my yellowtail. I've basically been cleaning out all the stores in my in my neighborhood of all the yellowtail. I can't find any of the pure bright. I can't find any of the um, Pinot Grigio. It's bad out here, y'all. So I need to branch out. So we're gonna pop a bottle because that's what we do on my live. You know, I always got to have some wine. I actually had not eaten anything today, but decided I should eat something since I'm going to be drinking wine on my live. I'm just going to go throw this in my refrigerator and we're going to get started. I do have my notes. I'm ready to go. I've got things pulled up. And I think that the first thing that we should start with is me discussing my lives and the future of my lives. And I have been really enjoying doing the lives and testing out what live is going to work best, long, short, what have you. And I feel like as long as I am just keep trying and trying and trying, my lives are going to get better. I don't feel like there's any good light on me though. That's another thing I'm working on. So as far as my lives go, I've been doing my research this week to figure out how to start embedding videos and embedding photos and things like that into my live. And I've got some good ideas, but it's going to take me a little bit of time to implement. Listen, I just finished editing two makeup tutorials. One of them took me 3 days. 3 days to edit. And then the other one took me 2. And until I get a video editor, it's just me by myself. So you got to give me a little bit of patience. I will get there, as I've been saying in all my videos, the lighting, the sound. Now that I'm taking content creation seriously, these things will improve. I'm going to start with showing you the video of why we're all here. You saw the thumbnail, a girl wearing blackface inside a Sephora. And until I get the software and everything I need to start embedding the content into the lives, I'm just going to be showing you things right here on my phone up to the camera. So this is why we're all here. Let's get started and show this first video. Make sure the sound is up.
Yeah. I walked over here and you're not like, this lady has no shame. Like, literally. This is so wild. I'm so sorry. This is so shameful. This is so shameful. Like, yeah.
All right, so that's the video. That's the video that has been going viral all over TikTok this week. It's a big story, and it was wild when I first saw it. I think I just pulled up my TikTok and I just started seeing all these posts about it. And I was like, what in the heck is happening? And then I went and I looked, and yeah, people were streaming it about this video. And I said, I better get myself onto a live this week because there's going to be a ton of influencers posting about this video. And a few already have. There are a few YouTubers out there that have covered this story. And I was just like, what? Black History Month, blackface in Sephora. Whoa, that's just some craziness right there. I am going to, now that you've seen the video, let me pull up my notes just because I don't want to miss any information. All right. Glasses on. And by the way, you guys, in case you did not know, if you're new to my channel, I apologize. Welcome. My name is Adrienne Keyser. I'm your over 50s fashion diva. And here on my channel, I cover everything from fashion, beauty, lifestyle, travel, and any trending topics like we're talking about today in any of those areas. And since this is a trending beauty topic, I knew I had to get it out there. So let's start drinking, because this is some craziness. Oh, all right, wine tasting. I really should do that. It's not bad. It has a bit of a sweetness on the back end. And if you know anything about me, sweet wine is not my favorite. So I may have to keep going back to the drawing board and finding some better wines. But anyway, so that's what I put on there. Big news in beauty this week: blackface at Sephora during Black History Month. So I wanted to talk about putting it up before all of the other YouTubers, and especially white YouTubers, are going to start covering this topic. I wanted to go ahead and get a jump on it and do it in my live. If I actually filmed a video, and the way that I've been really focusing on doing better video edits, this video would not have come out because I'm still in the middle of Fashion Month, which I'm so far behind on. That's a story for another day. Anyway, so I showed you guys the TikTok video. Now, I was going to talk about the history of Sephora. And I think that a lot of people have been talking about Sephora, but not a lot of people have really been talking about the history of Sephora. But before I do that, over on my TikTok, I did state that I was going to be doing a live first impression. So if anyone's here for my first impression, I need to go ahead and get that started at the top of the video. We're only 8 minutes in, so it's not too bad. So while I give you guys the history of Sephora, I'm going to be doing a hair mask. But that's not what the first impression is. The first impression is I got an unbrush. I got an unbrush. I'm so incredibly excited about it. When it was going viral all over TikTok, I was like, okay, yeah, I really want it, but can I get it to Belize? And I just didn't trust buying something from the TikTok shop and then having it shipped all the way over to Belize. So I said, okay, I'll just go and see if Amazon has it. And they did. So I ordered it from Amazon along with a bunch of other things. At the time that I placed the order, the unbrush was there. It didn't say that it wasn't available, but once I placed my order, it went into the unavailable status. And so I had to wait for it. So it took like about a month and a half for me to get it. And here it is. Now, I also mentioned over on my TikTok that my hair had been in braids. And if you saw my live where I was talking about wigging through the history, and of course, I will leave a link in the description box for you on that video, you'll see that I went to go lay a wig. Well, I had already had braids in for a week. And then I wore that wig for a week. You guys saw me last week. I still had the red wig going. But I said, okay, I need to wash my hair. So last night I pulled out my braids and slept on it because I really knew that I was going to be doing this first impression. So I really wanted to put it to the test. So I slept on it. When I got up, I took a shower. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm going to take a throat lozenge here in a second. I took a shower, and when I went into the shower, like, I did not do any detangling at all before my shower. And then I really scrubbed the shampoo in. I really scrubbed it in there, did not detangle. Then I went into the conditioner, really scrubbed it in there, did not detangle. Then I came out, I posted my TikTok, and then I said, if you want to join me live to see the unboxing and first impressions, then join me. So that's what we're going to do. Now, since making the video and posting it, all I did was just rinse out the conditioner, and that's why it's wrapped in a towel at the moment, because it was dripping wet. And I don't usually do anything as far as like pre-drying to my hair. I can put this down. I think y'all get it's the unbrush. I don't do any, real pre-drying of my hair. I really like for it to dry naturally. And this towel has been on for about 30 minutes now, which is way longer than I would normally leave it. But I do have a spray bottle of water in case it feels a little too dry to use it. But here it is. We're going to try it. And then while I'm putting in the hair mask, I'm going to talk to you guys all about the history of Sephora. Because did you know Sephora has been around since 1970? I didn't. That's a year younger than me. Sephora has been around as long as I've been around. That's crazy to me. Now, here we go. I'm going to take out my hair so you can see what it looks like. This is my little weed towel. It says America's Most Wanted on it. I love this towel. America's Most Wanted. And then it has lots of little flowers added to it. Like it's a whole towel of flowers. If you know what I mean by flowers. All right. Now this is what it looks like. It's actually super dry. I'm going to add a bit of water to it, but let's just do it before I add the water to it. And I'm still just struggling for lighting. I do have lighting coming. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know it takes at least a month to 6 weeks to get an order from Amazon. So it's on its way, but it won't be until sometime in March, probably, by the time I get it. That's not much better. But I mean, I literally have 3 lights shining right on me, and these lights are just so horrific. Maybe if I lowered them a bit, I don't know. Let's see if I try to angle them more on my face, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm just going to try to lower them a little bit so they're more at face height. I just feel like they might be a little too high to be shining on my face, and that's why I'm not getting any good lighting. So I'm just going to lower them down a little bit. And did you see my, I've got the popsicle, the ice cream cone today. Let's see if that's any better. Not a ton better, but like I said, we're going to get there. We will get there. Now, I'm just going to take the unbrush and I'm just going to do a section. This literally is a first impression. I have never even taken it out of the box. This is what I usually do to detangle my hair. I usually take a wide tooth comb, and it's usually way wetter than this. And then I just go through and, little by little, looks like there's still some conditioner in there, but little by little, I'll just take a section, and that's what I do. Then, I can take my Denman brush, and as you can see, that is not going through. That's just not going through the hair. See that? Even the wide tooth comb is not going to go through the hair. So now that I've kind of been combing this area a little bit, we're going to do a different section. I know my hair is crazy. I don't care. Everybody says be authentic on TikTok. I mean, on TikTok. Be authentic on any social media platform. This is authentic. This is what the real hair is looking like. So I'm going to start with this section here. And we're just going to see. It's got even has like pieces that are breaking off on it. I can literally just pull pieces of hair out. That's how dry it is. All right, let's give it a try. I'm scared. Y'all are seeing it, right? Let me wet it, see if that makes a difference. But I'm not seeing it. And you guys know I don't have no paid partnerships and all that nonsense. So everybody's talking about, oh, it's so great. It's so great. Maybe my hair just needs to be a little more damp. But it did not work that first try. So let's give it a real chance. Because my hair is, like I said, it was sitting in that towel for a while. So let's give it a proper chance here. Kind of disperse the water through it a little bit. Now, granted, I don't think that anyone would actually do what I did. I don't think anyone would take braids out, sleep on them, shower, scrubbing in stuff, and not detangling it at any stage. That could be a reason. That could be a reason why it's not working. But we're going to go back through. Let's see. Okay. Okay. I mean, I think that it would work. I do have a lot of, like I said, dead hair. You know, after you take your hair out of braids, you know, it's pretty matted. It's pretty matted. So I actually think that this would work if I wasn't putting it through like such a rigorous test. I mean, that's pretty, you know, that's like really giving it a challenge to have like 2-week-old braids and then sleep on them and then expect your hair to be perfect. However, I do still need to detangle this hair. So I'm just going to go through it really quickly. It's mostly just the ends that are really tangled. And while I do that, we're going to talk about the history of Sephora. So let's go. You guys aren't here to watch a hair video. You're here to hear about the trend. Now, the history of Sephora, I really was surprised. I had no idea Sephora had been around for so long. So according to Wikipedia, it says Sephora was launched in Paris in August of 1970. It was acquired by Dominique Mandunod in 1993, who merged the purchase with his own perfume chain under the Sephora brand. Mandunod, I hope that I'm saying that right. It seems very French and difficult to read. It's Mandonnaud. That's how you pronounce it. Mandonnaud is credited for designing and executing Sephora's assisted self-service sales experience, which separated itself from standard retail models for cosmetics by encouraging customers to test products in retail locations before purchasing. Mandonnaud continued to expand the Sephora brand through the 1990s, opening its flagship store in the Champs-Élysées in 1997. In July 1997, Mandino and his partners sold Sephora to LVMH. And if you are into fashion, you know anything about LVMH, that's Louis Vuitton, Moet, and Hennessy. That's the brand. They just shortened it to LVMH, who expanded the stores globally and bolstered the chain's products to include beauty and cosmetic products. Sephora extended its operation to the Middle Eastern markets in 2007 and has opened over 44 Sephora UAE and KSE stores, as well as an e-commerce store. It extends its partnership with its exclusive brands in the region. All right. That's interesting. That's interesting that this doesn't say like when it landed in the US. Okay, weird. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Boop. Just scroll down, Adrian. Okay, so it started in Paris, then it went to the Middle East first? That's wild. Did you guys know that? Leave a comment and let me know if you knew that Sephora actually started in the UAE before it went to the US. Mind blowing. I'm going to have to do this in sections, you guys. Anyway, so Sephora opened its first United States store in New York in 1998, its first Canadian store in Toronto in 2004, and its first Australian Sephora in 2014. Man, you guys were in Australia, y'all were struggling, struggling for Sephora. You kept seeing it everywhere, but you couldn't get access to it. That's annoying. All right, sister's starting to sweat a little bit here. That's when we get the neck fan. All right, so on August 26th, 2016, Sephora opened its 400th location in North America in the Magnificent Mile in Chicago. Wow. And the store in its city's new flagship location. So the flagship store is in Chicago. Also, I did not know that. So on March 31st, 2017, Sephora opened its largest retail location in North America near Herald Square in New York City. And I've been to that Sephora. It's incredible. The store is approximately 11,380 square feet and features over 13,000 products. It's one of 6 Sephora tip workshop locations. It's like TIP, like tip. And it's in all capitals, but it doesn't say what that means. Anyway, with interactive services and tools in North America, the others include San Francisco, Boston, which you're going to find out here in a second is where that original video came from. It was in Boston that this happened. Santa Clara Valley and Toronto. In November 2018, Sephora signed a long-term lease at Thor Equities Township Square, Metapec, a new retail and entertainment center in Mexico, totaling 1.7 million square feet. Wow. All right. In 2019, R&B singer SZA accused the store of racial profiling. Okay, wow. Back in 2019, so 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago now, SZA already accused the store of racial profiling. So on May 23rd, 2019, Sephora announced they would be closing all locations on Wednesday, June 25th, 2019, to hold diversity training for its staff. However, what? Okay, and none of the other videos out there are talking about this. So hopefully mine will be the first. So it says that, yeah, they closed all their locations in 2019 for diversity training. So how in the world did blackface happen in the middle of their store? And they let it happen. What? Okay, anyway, moving on. So, however, the staff training was a part of their We Belong to Something Beautiful campaign and not the acquisition from the singer. The planning and training for this campaign began late in 2019. In July 26, 2021, Sephora agreed with Palamon Capital Partners the purchase of FeelUnique.com, a UK online retailer of prestige beauty goods founded in 2005 with 1.3 million active customers from 120 countries and more than 35,000 products from over 800 brands. It has been acquired from Palamon Capital Partners for 26 million euro in 2012. The price was rumored to be 132 million euro. Wow. Okay. So that's the history of Sephora, you guys. Like, there was a ton in there that I learned. I learned a ton. Crazy. I had no idea. Like, I had heard about the whole thing about SZA, but I didn't know that they had closed all the stores for diversity training. Okay, I guess that's not going great. I guess that is not going well for them. So anyway, you guys, I really was planning on doing like a whole full face mask, but it looks like this whole video, my hair is going to look like this. Now, next thing I'm going to go over, get my mouse working here. Come on, mouse. The next thing I'm going to go over is finding my glasses so that I can tell you. All right, so it says now go. Oh, okay. So I told you guys all about the history of Sephora. So now I'm going to talk to you about what it was like to work for Sephora. I did work for Sephora. I worked for Sephora for about a year and a half. And this was in the early 2000s. And it was, Sephora was, like I said, what was it that they said? What year did they say they came to the US? When was it that it said? Come on now. So it said in 1998. So yeah, it was in the early 2000s. So Sephora was still relatively new. People had heard about it, but it was just now coming into the Maryland area, which is where I lived. And, the stores, they were all in the malls and they were new. So in the early 2000s, I used to work in the mall. I worked at an Aveda salon in a mall in Maryland. And I was just looking for, I was in college. So I was looking for, a little extra side job. And I was like, okay, it's beauty, it's makeup, it's, because I was a makeup artist at the Aveda store. So I was like, okay, let me just go work for Sephora. I'll just do it like over the holidays, to make a little bit of extra money. So I went and applied and I got a job there. So over the holidays, you start working there and you learn a lot. And if you've ever worked retail, it's just a lot of standing around helping customers. That's really your main job. And at the end of the night, you go and have to clean the store, right? So when we had to clean the store, this is the way we had to clean the store. Everyone had a shift. And on your shift, you were assigned what task you would do at cleaning. One of the tasks that you had to do was clean the testers. Some of the time it was just, you had to dust the shelves or you had to sweep the floor or whatever the case may be. And occasionally you would have to get the task of cleaning the testers in your section. Because it's not like they made you clean every tester in the whole store. Like you had a section that you had to clean all the testers. And we did. We actually did. We would go through and clean the testers. We would scrape any powders, we would scrape the top layer. Any other liquid products, like just taking some alcohol and paper towels and cleaning the tester if they were pump bottles or whatever. Like we cleaned the sections and we cleaned the testers. I don't know that practice still happens. Especially like I thought after the pandemic, they would never go back to having testers in Sephora. Never. I was shocked when the whole Sephora Kids thing came up. I was like, people are still going into Sephora. And if you haven't seen that video, check it out on my channel. I do a whole video on the 10-year-old kids that are destroying the Sephora stores. Like we never had to deal with that kind of stuff. Customers were coming in there were adults looking to purchase skincare and makeup. I actually did a video once where I talked about how, I think it was in my Sephora Kids video, like a mom came in and she was there by herself talking about how her son had really bad acne. And I, was asking, what I recommended. And of course, I always tell her, should definitely consult a dermatologist before trying anything. But as someone that works here and knows the products inside and out, because that's what you need to do. You need to learn what products are selling. I gave her a recommendation. She took it up, and that was it. It wasn't like a 10-year-old kid coming in going, I've got a pimple and I need skincare. That's just not how it was. My background is in customer service. So, I grew up in an era where customer was king. Customers could never be wrong. Like you did what the customer asked, and I just think that this new generation, they have no manners. They have no home training. Like I'm just baffled at some of the stuff that's been happening at Sephora. So here we go. Flash forward. And it was only just a few weeks ago that everyone was talking about the Sephora Kids, where this girl shows up in Sephora in blackface. And we're going to explain a little bit more exactly how it happened. There's some other videos I'm going to show you that go into a lot more detail about what was actually happening. And I do have an article as well to read to you a little bit later. Now, so another thing that, when I worked at Sephora, I started off just as a regular sales associate, and I was only going to work there for the holidays. And the holiday hours were insane. I mean, you would be up to I think the mall would close at 1 a.m. You'd be up to 3, 4 a.m. cleaning the store. And then if you had a day shift the next day, you'd be back there at 7 to get the store ready for the next day. It was madness. But I actually enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed working at Sephora. It was a really pleasant experience. It was a great place to work. I was able to rise through the ranks as an assistant manager and become a makeup artist, doing makeup on different clients and things like that. It was fun. We all loved working at Sephora. One of the great perks about working at Sephora was that when people do returns, and I don't believe that this still happens, but when people would do returns, we would have boxes of it in the back. And then at the end of a certain period of time, we could go through and take it. We could take that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't put it back on the shelves. They were just going to damage it out at the warehouse or at the main store or main location or whatever. So they were like, okay, just give it to the employees as a perk. You know what I'm saying? We would get stuff like that. We would have contests about sales contests. It was a really fun experience. I cannot imagine what the employees at Sephora are going through at this very moment in time. I could not work at a place like that. There's just no way that I could work at a place where people were so blatantly rude and destroying all the testers and, causing a big scene. It's just madness. It's absolute madness. I think that the biggest thing that we had to deal with, and it's like I said, this was back in the day. So the biggest thing that we had to deal with was when Oprah Winfrey had her favorites. Remember, like, and especially holiday time. You know, when Oprah came out with her favorites, people would flood Sephora looking for those products. And Sephora was actually already on top of it. They would know what the favorite things were, and they would have that stuff in the store. There was never like any people screaming and fighting for each other like they do with the Stanley Cups. There was none of that. There was just none of that. Like, I can imagine working retail in 2024. Like, I would be going to jail because I would be having to hurt somebody. Especially if I saw a mother standing there watching my daughters put on blackface, making animal noises, and I'm getting ready to go up and take a photo. And like, what were you going to do with that? All right, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get into the next video so this all makes a lot more sense. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep going on talking about things that you guys don't even know about yet. So let's get the next video going. And this gives a lot more detail and explanation. All right. So yeah, so the girl in the original video, which was taken down, I actually saw I think it was another TikTok or a YouTube video about her talking about how TikTok took her video down and she reposted it and they keep taking it down. But it was too late. The cat was out of the bag. Pandora's box was open and everybody was stitching it. Everyone was duetting it and green screening it. It was all over the place. So in the original video, the girl that was filming, you can't really hear it. She was actually over talking the other girl that was in the store, telling the woman how inappropriate it was for her daughter to be walking around in blackface. And what the girl says is, what do you mean you don't condone it? You were about to go over there and take photos of them doing it. What? Really? That's what you're going to do? And what were you going to do with those photos? That's what I want to know. What were you going to do with those photos of your child in blackface? Post them on your Facebook? Like, what were you going to do with that? All right, let's get to the next video because I'm getting heated and I need a drink. So the beginning of his video, he's basically sort of stitching the original video. This is the girl I'm talking about that says, you know, the little blonde-haired girl. Here, let me go back a little bit. This little blonde-haired girl is the girl.
This is so wild.
So
this is so shameful. This is so shameful. Like,
so the blonde-haired girl is the girl that, come to find out, she doesn't even work for Sephora, and you're gonna find that out in a moment. But she's the girl that was like walking around going, that is so inappropriate. Like, I walked up on you getting ready to take a photo, and then the woman just walks away. All right, here's the rest of the video.
This was in Sephora at the Prudence Center in Boston, Massachusetts. These three teenage girls were blackfacing in public and going around the store making monkey noises.
Every time I do one of these videos calling out somebody doing blackface, I always have people from outside the country who do not understand the depth as to why blackface is so harmful. So I tried to explain.
That is extremely racist in this country. I'd recommend reading up on minstrel shows. It's a very shameful thing this country did, degrade and dehumanize black people. As you know, I do not identify children, but the mom who is encouraging all of this, I want to know who she is. Quick shout out to this woman here for standing up for what is right. She's a real one. Because even when the mom tried to play it off and make an excuse, she called her out and said, no, you were trying to take a photo of it. You were absolutely encouraging it. Good on you. By the way, she does not work at Sephora. She's one of those vendors there selling other products. So you don't need to thank Sephora for that. Because I'll be honest, I played a lot of video games when I was younger. So whenever I say Sephora, all I think is Boston, Massachusetts. Help me locate the name of this woman.
All right. So, yeah, so that's basically what happened. And he actually has another video talking about Sephora's response to the video and what they said. And And I don't believe that's in my next video, but there is something in my next video. So I'm going to go ahead and read you Sephora's response to all of this. And this is according to Yahoo News. It says that young Sephora customers sparked outrage after they filmed using makeup for blackface at a store in Boston. 3 teenage girls were recorded applying dark shades of makeup to their faces while being accompanied by an adult. In the video, an employee can be heard saying how incredibly offensive their actions are. The employee appeared to be issuing criticism towards the adults, according to the Atlanta Black Star. Other customers on the scene said they heard the teenage girls giggling and making monkey noises while applying makeup. What century are we in? It's not appropriate in any century, but definitely not in 2024. Give me a break. All right, so it says, Sephora representatives confirmed that the incident took place at a Sephora store inside the Prudential Center in Boston. Sephora's top priority is to create a welcoming and inclusive shopping experience for all. They told the news outlet, "We are extremely disappointed by the behavior of these shoppers at our Prudential Center location, and as such, they were asked to leave our premises. Under no circumstances is this type of behavior tolerated at Sephora." The news comes as shoppers have been complaining online about young teenagers going to Sephora and notably selling out products by the beauty company Drunk Elephant. The brand sells various products. Okay, blah, 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 blah. So that was their response. That was Sephora's response. So if I go over, I'm just going to try to find, oh, shoot. Damn it. Okay, so so here we go. So here is the real truth.
All right, I'm going to give you an update on the Sephora Blackfacers because I know you guys have been waiting for it. In fact, let me show you how much you guys have been waiting for it. My video on the Sephora Blackface ladies, it hit 1 million views, but not because TikTok was promoting it. TikTok's actually right now, I'm currently being heavily suppressed. They're removing followers. They're, not showing my videos to anybody. And as proof of that, my video that got 1 million views was purely based on you guys looking me up, searching me, and coming to my video to see if I've identified them. The fact that I could get a viral video during an active suppression means that you guys really want an answer. So here it is. They're not from Boston. They're not from Boston. They were passing through with a dance show. They're actually from Guatemala City, and they go to a very good school there. And so sharing this in Boston did not actually help us get any closer to it. I wanted to share one thing with you, though, which is absolutely inconsistent with everything I've heard from a lot of different people. Sephora responded and said this: "This is a lie. That's not what happened. I'm literally calling you out, Sephora. No, you didn't. Nobody at your store said a thing. It was the vendor. It was the vendor that actually said something. You guys didn't kick her out. There were other people there. She just left. You guys didn't kick her out. Nobody at Sephora got involved. Nobody. How dare you try to take credit? You should absolutely be put on blast for that." As far as the name of the mom goes in the video, I don't have that yet. I do believe that I have it, but until I can verify it, I'm not putting it out there for obvious reasons. I'm sorry this is taking so long. I promise you guys I am working on it. For the time being, Sephora should definitely answer for what they try to pull here. You didn't have to lie. Sephora could have just said that they don't support it. They didn't have to outright lie and said that they did anything about it when they really didn't. If you want to challenge that, there were a lot of witnesses there. And I'm down to platform them to prove that Sephora is lying. All right, I'm going to give you an update on this.
All right, so that's actually what Sephora had said. And as you heard in his video, it was a lie. And I actually remember when brand vendors would come into the store and they're literally there for one day or one specific event. It could be like a weekend event or something, but they are usually there representing one specific brand. Like if it were Give me a brand. If it was Fenty, or if it was Urban Decay, or if it was, any brand, occasionally they will have brand representatives come into Sephora and do a whole thing where they are the ones that are greeting clients and trying to get them over to test out their products. So the fact that it wasn't even a Sephora employee that actually, approached them about it is shocking. Especially after we heard that they were all supposedly 5 years ago supposed to go through this inclusivity training. Okay. Now, oh man, this piece of hair is just like nothing left to it. Pull it off. So, let's see. What else did I want to say? Yeah, I mean, when we worked there, it was just a fun place to work. We got to experience new makeup and new cosmetics. One of the things that we had to do, and especially during the holiday time, was one of those things that would make me crazy is, Sephora would allow you to buy, instead of buying a full-size fragrance, you could actually buy like a little atomizer that was no bigger than the handle of this brush, an atomizer of fragrance. And so you would have to go to one of the testers, whatever fragrance that they were interested in, and you would have to sit there and spray the fragrance into this tiny little tube. At the end of your shift, you went home smelling like 1,000 different perfumes. It was crazy, but you loved it. You still loved it. And even though you got no sleep and had to go back the next day, you loved going to work. It was a fun place to work. Like, I can't imagine now. I just cannot imagine what it's like to work there. Yeah, that would just make me insane. Okay, so yeah, so that was the other thing that I wanted to say, was that they were talking about how none of the employees did anything, and that to me is, that's just a sign of how beat down these employees are. Like, they can't even respond to inappropriate behavior anymore. And I'm just wondering what it is that corporate is telling them, like when these Sephora kids go and destroy all the testers and destroy all the makeup and all that stuff. Like, what messaging have they been sending to their employees about approaching customers? That's really what I want to know. That's really what I want to know. Because I would feel like if that were in my day, there is no way, first of all, some child would be in there doing that. You know what I'm saying? Most of the people that we interacted with were teenagers and above. So yeah, there's just no way. But we also would not allow that type of behavior in our store. Our manager would have just made us leave. Made them leave. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, one thing that I have not heard, and I don't think that this next video is going to talk about, is the young lady that posted the original video did post a second video stating exactly what happened. And what she said was that, she was still filming, and the woman, the older lady, I guess, got whatever it was she was going to purchase and went to the register. So the girl that was filming it goes up to the register with her and like started to confront her about it and be like, how can you do it? She was like, you shouldn't be talking to me. You should be talking to them. They're the ones that are doing it. That's your response? As an adult? That's your response? Madness. So the girl that originally posted it, they actually weren't even from Boston or go to that mall either. They were actually there for a track meet or something like that, a running competition. And so they were just killing time before their dinner reservation was ready. And so they just went over to Sephora just to, whatever, hang out and this and that and the other thing. So once the girl, she said that the woman said, you need to go confront them, and not the girl just left. She was just like, I'm just too upset to deal with this. And so they went downstairs, I guess, to get their dinner reservation or what have you. And so as they were going down the escalator to go to their restaurant, the mother and I guess another adult woman started chasing after them and calling out their name, saying, excuse me, excuse me. And so the girl, she said that she took that moment to really give them a few choice words. And I applaud her for that, because a few choice words is would have been the least of that woman's worries if that were in my presence. Okay. Let's just go there. Or let's just end that there. So she said that what happened was the women approached her and said, were you filming that? And she was like, yeah, I was filming that. She's like, well, you need to delete it because you didn't have my consent. Huh? And so the girl's like, no, I'm not deleting it. And I think you need to take this opportunity to teach your children better. And another thing that wasn't mentioned was like, you know, these girls were like in their, you know, Chanel bag and their fancy boots and their this, that, and the other thing. Like people were like roasting them on TikTok. But yeah, she was like, wanted the girl to delete the video. And it's like, no, I'm not deleting it. And thank goodness that she didn't, because even though Dinesh didn't know, there's another TikToker that actually found out this woman's identity. Let's watch that video. And then we're going to wrap up because we're almost at an hour here. So here's the last video. And these videos are getting in the millions of views. So it was only a matter of time. Because if you aren't on TikTok, you know my over 50s babes that are here, if you're not on TikTok, then you wouldn't have known about any of this. But these have in the millions of views. And if, like I said, if you're not on TikTok, you don't know. Like TikTok will find you. Don't do anything stupid, because TikTok will find you. So let's watch this video.
So we do have an update on this story. One of the mothers of the teens doing blackface has been identified, courtesy of Dinesh. Before I get to that, I want to say a few things, starting off with the employee right here that addressed the teenagers. She does not work for Sephora. Apparently, she's a mall vendor and does not work for Sephora, so none of the employees actually said anything to the teenagers, which completely contradicts the statement that Sephora made here. Even though they confirmed that this incident happened at the Prudential Center location in Boston, according to Dinesh and eyewitnesses that were there, those people just left. Nobody asked them to leave. Nobody from Sephora got involved. Also, these people are not from Boston. They're actually from Guatemala City, and apparently they were just passing through with the dance show. However, we do have the identity of the mom right here. Remember, she's the lady who just walked away after the vendor confronted her about the kids wearing blackface. This is her social media profile. Her name was Margarita M. Boto. Once again, thank you, Dinesh, for finding her. I told y'all the internet don't play in my last video, and we don't play with hateful, racist behavior, especially during Black History Month. All of this could have been avoided if she just would have taken the time to parent, but of course, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So we do have an update on this story.
So that is correct. Now listen, don't go bombarding. One thing I've learned, like doing my research and doing all my studying on YouTube videos, is you have to, first of all, say that all these things are alleged. And second, you have to make sure that you tell people that if you're watching this video, please don't throw any hate. There's already been enough hate. I'm sure that this woman is probably taken down her accounts and all that stuff now that she's been identified, and made her accounts private and all this other stuff. So please don't go searching out this woman. Don't go seeking out and trying to get out any hate. That is the exact opposite of what we want in this situation. We just need the younger kids to understand that you can't pull that. You cannot pull that and not be found out. There was actually a girl on TikTok that got called out, and then of course, you know, everything from TikTok always lands up on YouTube. You know, so there was this whole girl that got called out for bullying, or no, this girl that like went onto TikTok and did a whole video, 5-minute video about how she was a bully in high school. and then it wasn't that big a deal, and you all need to get over yourselves, and this, that, and the other thing. And she was just talking about how she enjoyed being a bully and what it was like, and and just like go, if you're still worried about it from 5 years ago, just get a life and move on. And like just spewing the most vile, hateful things about bullying I had actually heard. Like, you know, and especially from a young girl in her 20s, I was like, what in the actual fuck? So anyway, you know, once all the YouTubers started making videos on it, the first thing that they said was she not only removed the comments from her video because she wanted it to still play. And then I guess after some time that she actually made her entire account private. You know, because she didn't like being bullied. How about that? Ironic, isn't it? And it's the same thing in this situation. It's the same exact thing. Like, this woman is now going to be found out. These kids are going to be found out. Forget good colleges. Forget good any future for you. Because you're found out. The internet doesn't die. That is going to live on your life forever. Anytime you go apply for a job, people are checking social media now. And you don't think that when they pull up your name, that's not going to be the first thing that comes up? I mean, just stupidity. Absolute stupidity. And I mean, you know, thank goodness that girl caught that on video. As one of my new favorite YouTubers says, she's like, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And that is your prize for the rest of your life, is to be known as the girl that wore blackface in Sephora for the rest of your life. It's never going away. Unless the internet blows up, and we know that's not happening. All right, you guys, we're running out of time. I'm going to go a little over an hour, but not as long as my last videos, I promise. So I talked to you guys about some of the perks that we got at Sephora. Like, I was just, like I said, I love that job. And the only reason why I stopped working at Sephora is because my other job paid better. And that was the only reason. Like, it was starting to become too much for me to work 2 jobs and go to college at the same time. So one of the jobs had to go. And so I ended up just choosing the one that paid me better. And that's the only reason why I love Sephora. I actually loved working there. And I mean, even the stupid jobs you have to do, like vacuuming the floors and cleaning up the testers and taking out the trash, and like, that was just all part of working retail. Like, nobody would, you know, had a grudge about it or whatever. It was a great place to work. We got some great perks working there. So I heard, as I was, you know, I was keeping my eye on how many YouTubers were going to be posting about this topic, just to make sure that it wasn't going to be like 700 people posting about this one topic. So what I will say is that there was one YouTuber posting about this topic, and I think it was also like the rise and fall of Sephora or something like that. But she said that this year, this holiday, 2023, that just passed, that the employees received a gift for Sephora making $10 million in sales in 2023. And the gift that they received was a chocolate chip cookie. What? That's what you gave your employees that have been under so much duress and so much stress. That's what, okay. I mean, it's like, okay, there's that joke that's be like, okay, whatever, just, you know, have a cookie. I'm appalled. I'm appalled. The amount of money that you make, you should have been able to give each employee in every location one product of their choice under a certain amount. Like you can't go and get like, $400 skincare or something insane like that. But there should have been a cap on it. But give everyone in your store one product of their choice. How about one brand product and then they get one Sephora product? That would have been a bonus. You've taken so much from these people. I just recently heard that they dropped a bunch of people's hours so they didn't have to pay them benefits. Like, it's just getting bad. Like, I think the days are numbered for Sephora if they don't get their shit together. I mean, they're $1 million company. I don't think they're in the billions, so they're not a unicorn company. But, if they don't start, making some major changes, the countdown is on. The countdown is on for the ending of Sephora. You know what I'm saying? That's just where it is. Like, and maybe it was because I don't believe that LVMH owned Sephora when I worked there. I think I would have remembered that. I don't really recall, but regardless, I mean, you just cannot treat people like that. It's just shameful. It's just shameful. And I think that, the only way out of it is for employees to boycott Sephora. This is what you do, retail babies, my Sephora retail babies. Most of those stores are in a mall or in an area with other stores. Go find you another job. And when people are no longer willing to put up with the bullshit that Sephora forces on you and they can't get any good hires, they will make changes. And that's the only way. People to boycott Sephora, listen, you can't boycott Sephora because the products in there are good. That's why people love it. That's why people love Sephora. But I think that, try going to Ulta next time. Maybe see if your favorite product can be in Ulta. You know what? I feel like I could have been down here for some reason. I'm wearing my Gotham City, DC. This month. It says Batman on the back. Anyway, so a couple of things, and then we're done. Then we're out of here, you guys. And thank you all again so much for showing up for my lives. If hopefully you'll subscribe and you'll get notified when my lives are going to go up. And it's every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've sort of been sticking to that time in order for me to be consistent for people to find me so that you'll know that every week I will be here Friday at 7 drinking wine with you. And I hope you'll come and join me again. Check the thumbnail, see if it's a topic that you're interested in, and come join me. All right, I just kicked over one of the lights. Okay. Anywho, now, so I went over all of my notes. I think that this was a really good video. I think you guys got a lot of information about the latest beauty scandal. The latest scandal here in beauty. What's trending in beauty. I think that we kind of covered all of that, right? And a couple of little extras sprinkled in there just for you. History of Sephora. I'm still mind blown about so much of that story. All right. So I put on here that I'm really behind on Fashion Month. So please forgive me. Like, I have only seen a few of the New York shows, and I really wanted to do that today, but I needed to get ready for this live. And so, yeah, I'm really behind on Fashion Month. So hopefully by next week, I will have some of my Fashion Month reaction videos up so that I can, add a little playlist here and there for you guys to see some of the videos that I'm going to do. I am going on to all of the designers that I know and love, and then try to add in a few designers that maybe I've never reviewed. That's the word I'm looking for. Maybe if I haven't reviewed them, it might be a new designer that I'm reviewing. So I will make sure to let you guys know all about that. So also the videos that are coming up, I actually have, and if you haven't already seen, if you are a subscriber, you may have seen that I have a Lunar New Year makeup tutorial that is going to go up. I'm also going to post the outfit of the day that I had for Lunar New Year. Again, doing all this research, you guys, and I just did a bunch of research early today about TikTok because those are the two platforms that I really want to grow. I have been on both of these platforms. I've been on YouTube since 2008. I started doing my own videos in 2021. So it's only been about 3 years. And this is really the first year that I am making it a serious commitment. Other years I've posted videos, but I wasn't really paying attention to like, what are the algorithms doing? What are other people in my genre doing? What are other people in my niche doing? And so this is really the year that I'm going to consider this as like my jumping off point for YouTube. Now, TikTok, I've been on TikTok for like 4 years or something like that. And as many videos as I've posted, like I'm in the 200 club. And that's as far as it goes, in the 200 club. So, I really want to grow that. And so earlier today, I watched a bunch of videos on YouTube. I know it sounds crazy, but on YouTube about how to grow my TikTok. I just like longer form content, which is a lot of the reason why out of all of the platforms I chose to really make my main platform, I chose YouTube. And like you can see, I'm already an hour and 6 minutes in, and I could talk to you guys for another hour. I just like longer form content. I just think it grows a bigger community because you know really more what I'm about. You can't really get what I'm about in a 5-minute TikTok. So yeah, I just really want to grow here on YouTube, but I did watch a bunch of a bunch of YouTube videos about how to grow on TikTok. So those are going to be the two platforms that I'm mostly focused on. And a lot of reason is because a lot of the content that I can put on YouTube comes from TikTok. All the trending stuff, all the crazy stuff that's happening in beauty. So I've already started making some changes and steps on my TikTok platform, but that's not really where my focus is going to be, you guys, to be honest with you. Like, it would be nice to post to TikTok, but that's not really going to be my platform of choice. It's really going to be here on YouTube. I'm really working on honing in on my shorts videos. I'm getting down to like, I can do a video in 4 minutes, but I'm still trying to get down to that 1 minute shorts content. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on it, and I will go ahead and slowly progress in that way. But that's it, you guys, for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I know this is going to sound stupid, but it sort of kind of rolls into what I was saying earlier about my channel, and that I've always been posting videos, but I didn't really move the needle. Like I remember it was a while ago that I got my 300 followers email. And then in the last, I'm going to say month, and I would say in the last month since I've really been focusing on it, I've grown 50 new followers. So I'm at 350 followers officially. It's a slow growth, but I'm going to get there. Like, I'm going to start leaping and bounding here very soon. The more videos that I start putting out, the more that I'm focusing in on my thumbnails, that I'm focusing in on, repurposing content, maybe changing up some of my old content to have better titles and better thumbnails. Like I'm really on the YouTube track, and I'm really going to be focusing all of my content on this platform mostly. And then the other ones are sort of just a side note. Again, you guys, I really do appreciate all the love that you've been showing to my videos. And please make sure that you check out my Lunar New Year makeup tutorial. I'm trying to kick it back old school on the makeup tutorials, like giving you in the close up on the eye type of a thing, like YouTube used to be back in the day. So that's why my Valentine's Day video that just posted up on Valentine's Day it said it's an old school makeup tutorial, because I'm kicking it back old school for you guys and giving you like in depth, so you can see my eye up close, as I'm working, instead of me just putting shadow on over here, like I'm zooming you in. Oh, I've been so excited about all the content that I have going up. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to say. The other videos that I have going up, coming up very soon, besides the Lunar New Year makeup tutorial and outfit of the day, is going to be I did a Pantone. The 2020 Pantone color of the year is called Fuzzy Peach. And if you're in the fashion industry, in the beauty industry, then you know that Pantone color every year is kind of important in our industries. So I did a full makeup look that is how do I say it? It's like the goal was to really emphasize the fuzzy peach color within the makeup look, which isn't always that easy, but I did my best. But not only was I doing a 2024 Pantone color makeup tutorial, but I did it using all Black brands for Black History Month. So that video should be coming out probably not this Saturday, but the Saturday next. My birthday's coming up. February is my birthday month. And this is a leap year. So, not that that matters, but I'm just throwing it out there. I also have tons of get ready with me's that I'm working on. I filmed a ton of content prior to Fashion Month because I just wanted to have enough content that I didn't need to be filming. But now I'm stuck doing editing, which I didn't factor that in. So that was on me. But I've got a ton of get readies coming up, and then also a new night routine where you're going to get to see me doing a few additional steps that I've incorporated into my night cares and to my nighttime skincare. Thank you all again. I hope you all had an amazing time watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one. And until next time, the hair is rough. Don't clock me. You better believe it. Bye.